Hello and welcome back to the Reapers. So we have another tactical debrief and hopefully a cool large one for you. Last night's fight was a red versus blue tactical PvP. So before we get into it, I should point out I've got a new microphone and it's a bit fuzzy in the background. I know, I don't know how to get rid of it, so we'll just have to put up with it, never mind. So last night, just in case you didn't watch the fight, you've got blue guys base here, you've got red guys base there, a bunch of SAM sites and ground units there. The mission was to use your ground units to attack 3 towns that you can't see but are along here. Take those towns and that's how you win it, and you get air support, air cover and cap cover from your bases. I won't waste any time. The tactical side was completely overwhelmed by the Reds. The Reds won because they used their ground units, the Reds won because they used their ground attack units. It was simple as that. Blues didn't. Blues just pissed around. So let's not dwell on that. That's what happened. So instead, and the Reds obviously won. So instead, we're just going to look at the air combat because that's what we can still study, and hopefully we'll see some good stuff. So the bases are about 80 miles away from each other. The only thing to point out is there are limits to airframes. So each side gets 5 Eagles and 5 flankers, 10 F5s, 10 Vigans, and it kind of rolls back to the least expensive the plane is to buy, the more they get, basically. Simple as that. So stand by as we take off and get to the first combat. Right, so we're underway. You can see we gave Blues a half-minute head start, so they're up here because they had some technical problems and they lost a couple of their airframes just trying to get airborne, but that's how it is. So they've already got the middle ground. You've got Riddle up here, extremely fast, extremely high, Angel's 35. I think his plan was to go for the enemy AWACS, which is a dang good thing to do. And I think he pulled it off, but let's carry on. We've got Slice and Trash in a Vegan flight there. For some reason I couldn't see them on my map last night, but that's what they're doing. We've got cap cover from Udarosa, Tender F-15s, Signore's in a Mirage, Tail, a man of the match down here in his cheeky little F5, Preen Su-25, I think there's 2 of them, and Atomic Su-25, and Elo following up the rear in the A-10. Reds, Zoidberg, flight of Zoidberg and Finn in 2 Mirages, Warren and Skadrecki and Zethor in Su-25T, so they're 3 Su-25Ts. So that's anti-SAMs, and you can see these big bulgy things are SAM coverage. They're all SA6s, I think, in the map. Coffee, Marvin and Wolf Shadow, F3 flight of F-15s. Right, so the combat's about to start, so stand by. So we've got the first combat. We've got Tender here up at Angels 20. Udarosa Angels 20 is the perfect fighting altitude for an F-15C. Signore covering up high. I get the feeling these 2 boys haven't spotted the Mirages, even though they're very close. Mirages are on the deck. Yeah, I think these guys are chasing the F-15, so they've lost awareness a bit of these Mirages down low. Always dangerous. So when you're coming into a fight like this, it's always best to stay unlocked until the very last minute. What I imagine these 2 have done is they've locked these F-15s up. One's cranking left and one's cranking right, which is all fine, but it's usually best to, in a dynamic situation like this, stay unlocked for as long as possible, and and then sleeve your radar up and down. That allows you to spot any belly shooters like this, any guys on the ground. So there's a good chance that Udarosa, for instance, can come along here, start firing at these guys, and these guys will just pop up and attack Udarosa. F-15s are up at fighting altitude now in their good 1 mile spread. Yeah, so I think Udarosa is going to go right over these guys. I'm going to turn that SEMnet off because that's quite annoying. Yeah, on the plus side, these Mirages have not seen Udarosa. Right, we have shots out. I have absolutely no idea what it's shooting at, so I'm going to guess it's just a quick shot on Gumbo. Probably won't hit 11 miles. More importantly, the Mirages have tracked down Tail. This is going to be a bit of a one-sided fight. I think that is Zoidberg that fired at 4 miles, so that is a kill shot. Up and up, that's 6.5 miles down on the deck for a kill shot. So that's well within parameters. I'm going to have to see something special from Tail to survive. Let's have a look at tail. What's he going to do? Pulls left, 5G. Okay, he's putting in the G now. He's putting in the angles. He's got up to 9G with countermeasures. And that is enough to do it. See, that shows how you... I mean, that is a kill missile. That should have taken him down. But he did avoid it. However, we could say that Zoidberg turned away a bit prematurely, and that might have actually killed the missile. But most likely, it was tail that dodged that. So it's a good 9G pull there, just in time. Finn's lost awareness, so as Zoidberg pulls away, it should have been Finn on the cover there taking the shot. But he's lost awareness, and now man of the match is coming in. A beautiful merge, look at that. So good dodge, good merge. And Finn's just flying away, he's put himself in a terrible position. Beautiful 1 mile shot with a Papa 5 and kill. And it's great to see. As soon as we put tail in a good plane, or a modern fighter like a flanker or an eagle, he's not very good. As soon as we put him in an old F5, 1960s F5 with a couple of bad missiles, he can kill everything. It's really weird. Tail's just weird. So that's a really expensive Mirage for the cost of well, not even the cost of an F5. So that's great flying from the tail. Good dodge and whatnot. And he's not finished yet. He now wants Zoidberg's blood. Zoidberg does have slightly faster jet, I think, so he will get away. And Zoidberg is exiting at a good rate of knots. So I don't think we're going to scroll that through. I don't think tail's good. Oh dear, Marvin's coming in. Marvin's seen him. Marvin is 2 miles hot. No, Marvin hasn't seen him. Oh, Marvin's up high. Oh dear, look at this. Tail is firing at a Mirage. Right. This is interesting. So he's chased Zoidberg all the way back. Zoidberg's on the right thing. You see, Zoidberg came in for an engagement and they did a nice 10 mile pullout. Nice straight run, nice and fast. Exactly as he meant to do. Nothing done wrong there. But Tails followed him all the way because he's a cheeky Belgian sod. And he's taking a shot. Now it's 4 miles with an aim 9 Papa 5. I don't think that's within parameters, but we'll see. I've been known to be wrong. Yeah, it's just too far out of parameters. It can't. Oh my word! Could that be a kill? Oh no! Oh ho ho ho! Zoidberg escapes by the skin of his teeth. Oh, tail stopped. Tail crashed. I think that was when we had a big. It was full of lag. Yesterday's match. It often happens on Sundays. The server just lags out constantly, and so hence we're going to see a lot of people crashing into the ground. It lags out. As soon as it lags out, the first thing your plane does is dive into the ground. It's very frustrating. So we won't criticise it because there's nothing we can do about it. So yep, it's good fighting by Zoidberg and Tail really there. God, there's about 100 things going on at once. So we're going to roll back again. So what were the F-15s doing then? Let's try and see. So we think Udaros was cranking and then probably shot at one of these slow movers, I imagine. 2 missiles out and a wasted missile. Not sure what the wasted one was all about. Prudent to point out at this point, you should never fire a missile when you've got any kind of pitch in the jet. You completely kill the missile when you put pitch in the jet. Because it unloads a load of your force onto the missile and it wastes the missile and kills its trajectory. So these ones here were both proper shots while the plane had no pitch authority, and this one was a pitched shot. You can see it's having to do all that curving there to get back on, and it's basically a no good missile. So and it's the same with the roll as well. When you're rolling, you must never fire a missile. You put unwanted yaw into the missile and it wastes the missile's burn. Right, I don't think these are going to kill. They're just too far out. And we've got an aim. Right, we've got SA6s. Those are SA6s for the main base out on Udaros, I imagine. I don't think we're going to do any damage here. So the red... No, that didn't do any damage. The red F-15s are now coming into combat. It looks like Marvin is going for... Udarosa, I think. And Tender is fighting. Now let's see what Tender did, because I didn't see this. I'm guessing Tender was fighting Wolf Shadow. Let's just run that back a little bit and see what it was doing. So Tender's cranking Wolf Shadow, but the problem is he fires a shot while still cranked. So you can see the aspect of his plane is pointing that way, so he's fired a missile at that cross basically. So it's forgot to turn in, which means it's just a wasted missile. Just obvious criticism there. You have to turn in to the target before you shoot at the target. So that's just a stupid thing there. And you can see that missile is going to have to struggle to turn around onto Wolf Shadow now, and it's going to kill the speed of the missile. And he's still not aiming at the target. I'm not sure what Tender's up to today. Another missile out when he's facing completely the wrong way. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know why he would do something like that. So basically, he did everything right, but he forgot to turn in to attack the bad guy. So that doesn't work. You can't kill people like that. Yeah, those missiles are no good, obviously. He got fired on. Coffee was covering. He got fired on. On the plus side, he at least did a proper turnaround. That is a fully fledged turning split S. Let's go and have a look at his G-force. If I can get it going. 800 knots, say 50 knots true. Invert, pull back, 9G. That's what I like to see. Over 9G, that is a proper split S. Makes you almost invincible to any missiles. Maintains 800 knots. All lovely stuff. Nothing can kill you like that. And then a 180 burnout combat. And you can see 850 knots is completely safe. His missiles weren't any good for reasons we've talked about. Now the good side here, now what we like to see is he's taking a baddie with him. And there's always the chance you do this. When you split S and turn away from combat, there's a good chance the baddie will follow you. So how do you combat that? The answer is you don't. It's not your job to defend your 6. That's where your teammate comes in. So I don't really need to explain this. They all know this. They should have set themselves up. Udorosa and Tender should have been a chainsawing pair. They shouldn't have split up with 50 miles in between them. They should have been one guy in first. Then as he goes out, this guy covers him. And then as that guy comes out, Tender covers him. So they've got constant cover. What they've done is they've not communicated. They've gone separate ways. And they're both very likely to get shot down because of it. Because look at these two. These two are covering each other. So I'm not going to dwell on that. They've been trained. They know how to do this. So now this guy's got to run away from Coffee with no cover. So all Tender has to, it is still perfectly easy to get away. Basically, you've got the head start. As long as you've got the head start, you can win this engagement. So the key thing is knowing that you've been chased. If you've not got any cover, you've got to know that you've been chased. So hopefully he can detect a spike from Coffee. So all he's got to do now is just charge, bags off 900 knots, and this guy can't catch you up. And then, if need be, dump your weapons. I quite often dump my weapons and fly away and just fly home. Nothing can catch you up. Nothing can catch you up a clean F-15. And that's much better than getting shot. Much better than getting shot. We probably won't see that from Tender, but we'll see what does happen, so stand by. So he's got the speed. What he mustn't do now is try and save fuel. He's got to keep on those burners. And he's gone down to 300 knots. So is Coffee. Must be lag. Okay, the speed appears to have broken on these jets. And we're back. It was indeed lag. 2,000 knots, 3,000 knots. That was the biggest lag spike I've ever seen. 3,300 knots. That's hypersonic. How impressive, DCS. So let's carry on. So Tender is decreasing his speed now, and this is what's almost going to certainly kill him. He's still 60-50 knots. It's okay. He can survive. Now, I've been through this before. If you're running away from a baddie, and he knows he's running away from a baddie, you can tell, otherwise he wouldn't have gone this far out. Don't put sharp corners in, unless you're being fired upon. But if you're just running away from a bad guy, don't put sharp corners in. What that allows the poster to do is to cut the corner, i.e. take the lead, and if he keeps doing that, you can catch up. If you've got to turn a corner when you're running away, you've got to do a super large radius long turn like this, like where my mouse is going, and that means that the red guy behind can't cut the corner and catch you up. So that way you can turn around a corner slowly, but you can also keep running away. What you mustn't do is a tight turn like this, which A, bleeds your speed off, B, allows the guy to catch you up. So these are all things you've got to know. But now it's about speed, and Tender is now coming off his burners, and I think he's trying to save gas. He's down to 600 knots, whereas Coffee is getting up to 700. And It's hard because I don't know if Coffee's spiking him. Okay, that's a missile that now, so it doesn't matter at this point. It's 4 miles. That on a flanking target down here. That is a kill shot. 5 miles is a kill shot on a flanking target. So Tender's the only good thing is that on Tender's side is that Coffee didn't really have enough lead on his aspects. You see that missile wants to go out here. When you got a flanking target, you got to pull shed loads of lead on it. So that's going to scrub that missile a bit. There's a couple of Vigans in, but I don't expect them to see any action. So Tender is. See, Tender's plane does tell him exactly where that missile is and how close it is. So you should see that it's coming from the left. So the natural thing should be to turn right and full burn. He is full burn at least. But you've got to turn right. He's doing that and he's maintained his speed. Okay, this is acceptable flying. 700 knots. His key is his speed. If he keeps his speed, he'll stay alive. If he burns his speed off, he won't stay alive. He's still going faster than Coffee at the moment. Keep that speed. Speed's okay. Speed's good. So he's just about getting away at the moment. And Coffee's probably got more ordnance. I think I can tell that Coffee's got his fuel tanks on still, because an F-15 would be going faster if it didn't have its fuel tanks. The Vigan boys have joined in to help out. So that's good work by the Vigan boys. So Tender's still got this well in the bag. No reason to worry. He can just go straight and lead them into the SA-6s, or, you know, small amount of wiggling, but keeps the 700 knots, he'll survive. Another Fox out. Oh god, that was 4 miles. That is just within kill radius. All this little bit of wiggling has allowed Coffee to take the lead here, and that is a kill shot. But some wiggling by Tender, he will survive this. 700 knots. Let's do a reversal to the right now. Oh, it's crashed. Bloody hell. Okay, well, there you go. Crashed. He probably would have survived that. He probably would have got through to the SA-6 if he hadn't crashed. Anyway, Trash and Sly have now seen Coffee. Obviously, it's not much of a match, but we're almost within Fox range here from a Vigan. 2 miles is aim 9 range. So, Coffee doesn't realise that the Vigans are behind him because the Vigans aren't emitting any radar. Well, they're certainly not locking him up. That was a lag there. I saw a lag. Alright, so Coffee's come in. He's got his kill. He's now going to do what a clever gentleman will do, which is turn around and go straight back home. Only an idiot wants to dance around in blue territory, even if there's no fighters about. First thing you want to do is burners on and get out of there. And I'm sure that's what he'll do. We've lost a Vigan. Slice Eye, I imagine because that lag spike made him crash. Nothing we can do about that, so just ignore it. Now, Coffee doesn't know there is a Vigan hot on this trail now, so this Vigan is going to take lead, cut the corner like he is, and he can get a shot here. I know it's a sideways aspect, he can get a shot right there. Pow, shoot. Such a shame. Missed that opportunity. And a 50-foot merge. It's pretty awesome. Turn fight. It's going to be the F-15 fight to lose, isn't it? Interestingly, Coffee's going high. I never advised that in a fight, but I'm sure there's good reason for it. I imagine he's going up to scrub off his speed to essentially yo-yo behind this guy. I think that's what he's done. And that's a beautiful move. Look at that. So Trash kept a long raking turn, while Coffee slowed down, yo-yoed behind, didn't stall. He was never down to kind of 250 sub, not stall. Yo-yos behind Trash, and that is pretty much perfection. He's adding on the alpha. He's keeping that plane just within alpha look, just within 20 degrees. An F-15 can handle 20 degrees. Anything above, and it starts to become just a big kite, and the air resistance kills the jet. So it's lovely control there, not panicking. And you can see his aspect there. He's not panicking, trying to pull lead like I would probably panic and try and pull lead, take a shot, scrub my speed off, and end up being a sitting duck. So he's got it just about right here. He's slowly adding in lead. He's got, you see, he never went full lead, so that was lovely. It allowed him to build his speed up, which is good. And so one more shot, and that is obviously a kill. Lovely flying, efficient flying from the Coffee there. Very nice. I don't think he's going to spot atomic up here, so we'll just fast forward that. Yeah, so, oh, okay. I think there was other fights to go and look at, so we'll go and look at them first. There's about 100 things happening at once, I think. Right, what was happening over here when all that was happening? Wow, look, Marvin and Udarosa are still fighting each other. Right, so we're over to the right flank. Udarosa takes his shots. Those last 2 shots, in fact, were actually with pitch authority. So those last two shots were essentially wasted because he was firing when pulling back. Can't do that. Can't add that extra yaw into those missiles. And you can see that one there fighting against that yaw, and that one there fighting against that yaw. That one was okay. Very important. Because we don't like wasting missiles, obviously. Right, at that point, he goes defensive. I think the reason he did that was he was detecting SAM launches there. So it was a bit of panic shooting. And then he's down into a good defensive 6G split S with countermeasures. So in reality, he's completely safe in these SA6s. He doesn't know that, so he goes full defensive. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. He's also got a Marvin here shooting at him. Marvin's been authorised to take this flank. So tiny criticism as Udarosa. I would say rather than going in and doing the wiggling, just go straight out. The wiggling never helps anyone. Right, and Udarosa is going to put himself in trouble. He hasn't been listening to the debriefs. So what he should have done is taken his shots, got shot at, and then flown away, and he would have been perfectly safe. What he's done, in fact, is split S and then kind of wiggle about and then turn straight back into combat. It puts you a huge tactical disadvantage, and we're about to see it end badly for him. If he had gone out and turned back in, he would have been safe and had, if anything, the advantage. So that's bad tactics there, and he's now being hunted by Marvin. So that's a 10 mile shot on the flanking target. It's obviously a complete wasted missile from Marvin. It's never had any use. That would have been, what, I don't know, 5.5 miles, 6 miles max shot at these altitudes and aspects. So Udarosa now is aware that there's an AIM 120 on him. So the first thing you should do now is turn right and zoom out of combat. If you zoom out of combat, you'll be absolutely fine. What we don't want to see is wiggling around or spinning around or anything you see the new guys do. And that is exactly what we're seeing. There's nothing to be gained by doing all this wiggling about and turning into combat and, you know, just got to fly away. A lot of guys are scared to fly away because it seems counterproductive, but it's pretty much the best thing you can do in almost every situation. Marvin appears to have lost interest, which is lucky for Udarosa. So I think we'll just run that through, I guess. Okay, what's the weird stuff? Lag happened, that's lag. Lots and lots of lag. Okay, more lag. Okay, so when I said Marvin lost interest down here, I think it was probably lagging all the way from here to there. So in fact, he had not lost interest. In fact, it's on his case. And yeah, so Udarosa's paying the price, I think, for mucking about now. He shouldn't be flanking. There's no reason to flank. Just go backwards. Safe if you go backwards, not safe if you flank. It's allowed this Marvin to catch him up. And he's going to take lead now. And this is a dead Udarosa now. On a hot target like that, 6 miles, that's 6.5 mile kill shot. So Marvin's well within reason to shoot. I'm surprised he's not shot yet. He better shoot quick or he's going to get shot himself. He hasn't shot. He's cocked up. I don't know why. Didn't get that one right. And he's put himself in a merge, and it's now anyone's game. So that was Marvin's cock up. Right, so now we are in a turn fight. At both planes, 700 knots. So first thing they've got to do is scrub their speed down to 450 knots fighting speed. And let's see who can do that first. I was always taught to stay low in these fights. However, the high yo-yo here can be effective. Udarosa seems to have lost complete interest in it. He's now going towards the bad guy, so I don't know what that's about. At least it's fast. If you ever see anyone making a bad decision, as long as they've got, like Tender back there, as long as they've got speed on their side, they can usually survive it, which is why I tell my guys never to fly with fuel tanks on, etc, etc. That extra speed can save your life. Okay, well now Udarosa's fucked up. So he hasn't seen this guy. I get the feeling there was all kinds of lag going on, and that might be why they haven't been able to see each other. So we won't pay too much attention to that. Right, so Marvin is 3.5 miles on a cold target. That is a kill shot. Anything within 4 miles on rear aspect with a long range missile is a kill shot. Oh no, it's an AIM 9, sorry. No, that's not a kill shot. You've got to be within 2 miles for an AIM 9. 4 miles for an AMRAAM, so I'm not sure why he's not using his proper missiles. That will just scrub it all at speed and it'll die about here. Again, Udarasa's got speed on his side, so he's okay for now. He looks like he's going for Zoidberg. Let's stop that right there. Yeah, so Udarasa just didn't even realise he was fighting Marvin all this time. So, Zoidberg is 6.5 miles, so that's a slightly out of parameter shot. So what is it? It's 4 miles on a rear target, it's 5 miles on a flanking target. So you've really got to be within 5 miles, assuming this guy is going to be dodging. The other thing is to look at is Udarasa's aspect is bad. He's got a clean aspect, direct on target. He had to have a lead aspect. He should have been aiming out here on a flanking target like we talked about before. Otherwise, look at all the work this missile's going to do, and there's no way this missile's going to hit now. It's got to scrub all the way around and then scrub all the way in front. And that's all burning missile motor and missile speed away. And look, it's never going to get anywhere near the target. So 2 things to learn there. Don't fire without out parameters. Do your maths and make sure they're lagging again, obviously. Everyone's lagging again. Do your maths before you do your shot. If you're on a low flanking target, 5 miles max. And B, you've got to lead the target. You've got to lead the target off flanking target like that. Otherwise, it's a wasted shot. It's 1,000 knots by the time that missile even gets on course. And it's too easy to beat. Anyway, everyone's lagging now, so let's just wait for it to go. So Zoidberg died during the lag. Nothing we can do about that, so we won't comment. These guys survived. If you're wondering why it's lag, it is A, because it's a Sunday and it always lags on Sunday. B, because of the unique way the DCS is programmed. Every time someone gets in a new jet that hasn't been got in yet, so say someone's just got in a whatever, a L39 or something for the first time on this match, everyone has a 10-second lag spike. It's very frustrating, I know, but that's what we live with. And they're back. They're back. So at least Udarasa's kept his speed. Speed is life. I don't know what in Udarasa's head he thinks he's doing, because we've been through this a million times. You start your base there, the hostile base is there, so the natural thing is for a decent pilot to come out here in the middle ground and chainsaw and defend this middle ground. That's all you've got to do. There's no reason to be on the deck 2 miles away from an enemy base. It's childish and stupid. I just can't see why people do this kind of thing. Either way, we're on the deck 2 miles away from the enemy base, so let's see what we can do. He's got a missile out at Skadrecki, who is 18 miles away and well out of any shooting range, so it's completely pointless anyway. Marvin has not lost him, he's still on him, and that is a kill shot. That is 3.5 miles. That is a dead Udarasa unless he can do something seriously. You know, you're going to need a 9G plus countermeasures to beat this. And that's what we've got. 8.5. It just shows you can beat missiles within parameters if you're there to do the dodging in time. And he was in this case. But that's it's not really going to help him. Like I said, he's in the middle of the enemy base, low down. He's going to get shot by something. If it's not a SAM, it's going to be a cap guy. It seems like a waste of an F-15 to me. Right, Marvin's just biding his time, being nice and patient, not spamming missiles out. He knows that he's got plenty of time. He knows because he's so far away, this guy can't do a brake check, and he's got the same jet, so he can go just as fast. So he's going to take his time, put his AMRAAM. I mean, now if you fired an AMRAAM now, he couldn't dodge it. It's too close. So he should be firing. I think he's going over some terrain or something, so he's waiting for the moment. Udarasa is going slightly faster. I don't think it's going to help him enough. Marvin's almost as fast, just waiting for the killer missile now. And there's no real harm of waiting like this. If there's no other players in the fight, which there isn't, there's no harm of just chasing the guy down and waiting for the opportune moment. Which he's doing. Udarasa thinks he's out of combat now. He's turned his afterburners off, and it is to his detriment. He knows he's being chased, so he's in a world of pain now. So that was misuse of the F-15. You've got to go 900 knots out of combat if you want to survive. So that means bags off 900 knots. But Udarasa hasn't done any of that. And we've got an AIM 120 finally out. Decided it was time. It's going to be very hard to dodge. He needs 9G to even stand a chance, and he hasn't done it, so he's dead. Right, lots of errors there. So let's stand by. Try and find the next fight. Was Coffee, wasn't it? So Coffee, I would prefer to see him turn around and just go home. That's what I'd prefer to see. But he's found a target, so it's fair enough. He's found Atomic. Atomic's just the wrong place at the wrong time. It's not his fault. Obviously an easy kill on a pretty much defenseless target. Let's get that out of the way and done with. It's coming close for an aim 9 shot, I imagine. No panic, no other players in the fight. And lovely easy shot. He's down. No, he's not down. Okay. He's going to have to come in and finish with this with guns. So the key thing here is not to come in too fast. If you come in at 600 knots, you'll be so fast you won't get a chance to take the shots. This is where flying in formation comes in such handy. So I want to see Coffee now start to scrub his speed off, so he almost merges with him, like coming into formation. And that's exactly what he's doing. You see his speed's coming down, he's got his air brake on, or he's taking his gas off. And allows him to get a good it will allow him to get a good shot. Down to 500, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, still slowing down, and then the speed difference is only about 110 knots at the time of the kill, which is good enough for a guns kill. So it's nice. Right, hopefully Coffee's gonna get out of combat now because he's starting to push his luck. You know, being in hostile area for so long, and I'm sure that's what he's about to do. So he's got no other stuff happening there. I think the next thing, missiles did come out from Atomic, so we'll quickly see if they struck home. Pow, yeah. So Atomic did kill this SA-6 at the hostile base. That is a good use of himself, even if he did die. Now, what was Riddle doing? Stand by. So all this fighting was going on, and Riddle, rather than getting in a big fight with the guys, I mean, there's no real use of killing enemies, I always say, on this kind of map. You kill an enemy, and he just starts again at base. I know they've got limited airframes, but you've got limited time at the end of the day, so killing bad guys is almost one of the last things you want to do. What you want to do is hold ground. So rather than guys flying in here doing stupid dogfights and childish things, they should have been here holding this ground, not even killing bad guys, just chainsawing and keeping the bad guys at bay, while the ground pounders like Static and whatnot, Gunzello, could fly about under the air cover and kill tanks and stuff. That's what they should have done. I'm sure they know it, so I'm not going to go through it a million times, but that's how to use your cap. Not flying in here, desperately trying to get in guns, dogfights. So, said that so many times now, I don't know. But anyway, at least Riddle is... so Riddle's the only cap guy flying sensibly at the moment. He's not going to get in a stupid, childish guns dogfight. He's going to fly his own flight, and he's going for the hostile AWACS. Now, I don't know how he's done it, but he's got up to nearly 1,000 knots of Angels 42. So that's pretty awesome. Let's see. And the good thing about that is it makes him almost invincible. Like the old SR-71 Blackbird just flew above everything. It flew so fast and so high, although technically missiles can get up to that height relatively easy. They can't fire in time to lead such a fast target. So this guy here is going 1,000 knots now. So for a ground missile, like this SA-6 to shoot and kill him, it's got to shoot like, if it was here, it's got to shoot like that to get in front of his lead, because he's flying nearly as fast as a missile. So it makes you essentially go high and fast, makes you almost invincible. The only way to kill someone like this is to literally hit a scramble jet right now, scramble up like that, up like that, up like that, to lead ahead of him. But that's really hard to do. You need proper GCI working overtime to be able to do that. So essentially, flying up there, he's invulnerable. He can't do any work up here because you can't fight up here at Angels 50. But so it is good tactical flying. Much better than being around here being silly. Anyway, that's it's obviously going to get over there unimpeded, so he does his job well. Angels 50, that's 1,100 knots. I can't do that Mach in my head. What's that? Someone to know? There it is. Mach 1.9. That's pretty damn good, bearing in mind he's got all his missiles on. The only thing he has to be careful now is his closing speed. If he flies into that guy at Mach 1.9, it's going to take him 10 miles to turn back around. So he should really be coming off the gas early. I think he's a little bit excited. We all know Riddle. He gets a little bit excited. Full missile. Now, here's a funny thing. Now, I was saying slow down, and it's slowing down not just to merge with this guy. It's also to give your missiles a hand. Firing missiles really fast, and bearing in mind Riddle is flying as fast as a missile now, which means his missiles are going to be like 3,000 knots, really fast. These missiles are going to come off the rail so fast, even at 3 miles or 4 miles, they're not going to get time to basically lock onto the target, because by the time the brain in these missiles has worked out the maths and the actuator fins are working, this missile has already passed the AWACS. I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 of these missiles miss the AWACS, simply because Riddle's going so fast, and that's something people don't think about. Look at your target. If you're firing an A10 or something that's going 200 knots, and you're flying in at Mach 2, your missiles will almost certainly miss. You've got to slow down to allow your missiles to do their work. Let's see what happens out of interest. 1 hit, 1 miss, and that just shows how easy you can cock up your missiles by going too fast. So Riddles is still accelerating. So this is bad now. He should have been on the air brakes there. Again, there's no point of firing missiles when you're going as fast as a missile. Sorry, there's no point of firing missiles when you're going as fast as a missile. There's nothing that missile can do to turn around at Mach 2, and he's going Mach 2.02 now. So he's realising how fast your jet is and the forces it's going to impart on any missile. The turning circle of this missile up here is, well, you can see it, it's like that. So that's a bit silly from Riddle. Like I said, he gets a bit overexcited, but one way or another, at least he gets the job done. Now the problem he's got now is he's got to turn around, and he's going Mach 2 point something, and turning around at Mach 2 point something, well, nothing can do that. So he's now going to have to fly off at 10 miles over here, and we've got to wait 10 minutes while he does it. So the solution, like we said, was slow down in between. You know you're not getting shot at by anything. I guess it's easier than said than done. Right, turned round. He did it relatively quickly. He's scrubbing. Oh, I'm amazed he didn't pass out. He has passed out. No, he's in control. He's in control. He's launched an AIM-120 at 1.4 miles on a flanking target. Yeah, just within parameters. These missiles don't like be any less than 1 mile, especially on a flanking target. Yep. Nope. I told you. So the problem there was, again, asking too much. Riddle should know better than this. Just too excited. Asking too much of this missile. Look at he's flying down here and he's got alpha on the jet. Look at that alpha. And we remember you can't have alpha. You can't have pitch authority. So alpha means he's putting pitch authority into that jet, basically. Can't put pitch authority when firing a missile. It just kills the missile, because all this first bit, when you see how it comes off the rail, it's sinking. All this yaw it's having to do, and the first bit of its travel is just sorting out the yaw that Riddle's imparted on it. And by the time it really gets going, it gets tracking. These missiles take a while to get going and tracking and manoeuvring. It's just you know, it's fooled by the chaff. It's whatever. It's just not happy going for that target. I had a hunch that wasn't going to hit. So, be sensible, be calm, get on the guy's 6, don't have alpha in your jet, then fire your missile. So see him calm down now. There's a bit of lag there, so ignore that. Okay, he's now got the alpha off the jet. He's not imparting any pitch authority. He can now fire a missile. Ideally an AIM-9, please, Riddle. So I think there's all just a bit of excitement. Guns, sure, whatever. And that's the hostile killed. Right, lots of criticism, but at the end of the day, he came in well. He did everything he needed to do and killed the AWACS. Now, I didn't think it would have a huge effect on the battle. Turns out it does. Turns out that, as I found out later, after that, the red GCI, who's the guy who controls all of his planes essentially by verbal, had no eyes. He couldn't see anything. So from then on, all of the intercepts and flying was done by essentially by eye, or by the radar of the red planes. And so it turns out it was a really good tactical move from Riddle. The Reds still won, but at least we know that's something good that the Reds done. That the Blues done, sorry. Right, I assume Riddle's just going to fly away now. What we don't want to see at this point is being a child and going down here and trying to get in a guns dogfight. What we want him is to see him being an adult and flying towards here at Angels 50 and Mach 2.5. And that's hopefully what we'll see. And it is. That's good. Just for fun, why don't we watch that through? So he's gaining altitude. I believe the optimal flying altitude, he likes to go high. The optimal flying altitude is Angel's 37, I believe, for a F-15 if you want to get to speed. You know, if you want to get to max speed. But he's going to go high because height it's not as fast, but it gives him a little extra safety from SAMs and stuff, so that's fair enough. He's putting out some chaff there, no real reason, countermeasure to do that. Engine's 45, Mach 1.9, like I said, he's not going to reach top speed up here, but it's okay. And it's perfectly safe. That was good, mature flying in tactically. We had Coffee up here, but he was never in danger of doing an intercept. And he's coming down here now. He's been the Blues still have their radar, they still have their AWACS, so he's been GCI'd from up here to come and intercept this guy, and he's going to do a lovely job of it. I think it's come down to the Angels of the hostile. He's doing it blind at the moment, just on the GCI's calls, and it's going to be a good intercept. 2 miles straight on the flank, and that was good. A newbie would have fired at that point on a diving flanking target. He's going to wait. He knows he's not in any danger. He's going to wait and get on the 6, where he can get a much more sensible shot. So that's good to see. Either that or he's out of missiles. So he's merging. Just got to be a little bit careful of his speed here. And also he's taking lead. So this is bad. He wants to take lag. So he really wanted to dive around here and come off on the back side of the valley. That allows him to reduce his speed and get into a decent lag pursuit. At the moment he's taking lead, which means he's probably going to go for a snapshot. Problem is that puts him in all kinds of hurt once he passes this guy. He's going to have to put himself into a flying scissors, which he doesn't want. So it's a little bit silly from Riddle. Luckily his plane just couldn't do the job. He's up at Alpha 25, just couldn't turn that tightly. So it's going to put him into a lag pursuit without his knowledge. No, he couldn't burn the speed off quick enough. We're now into lateral scissors. It actually becomes quite difficult for an F-15 at this point. It doesn't like flying slow scissors like this. Saying that, the Su-25 isn't very manoeuvrable anyway. So, still in scissors. So both planes really get as slow as they can at this point. Too much speed for Skadrecki allows Riddle to. Riddle had a nice little bit of a lag turn there, and allowed him to burn his speed off, and he's now on the 6. So we got there in the end. And that's guns, an easy kill. That'll do the job. Right, let's go see what else we've missed. Okay, so we join from the last thing that happened. Riddle, Coffee killed someone and he was going home. Riddle did his attack. 2 Su-25s here next to each other, and Static has... Unfortunately, all of Static's air cover has disappeared, so she's now flying into a Marvin at 10 miles. So all Static can do now, as she knows, is just turn around and run home, but she doesn't like doing that, so I think she's going to fly into these missiles. We shall see. Yeah, just a barrage of missiles and dead Static. Nothing really to analyse there. Wow, survived. We've also got a Kilo Hotel out from Skadrecki. This is now going to be a dogfight. I suppose we better analyse this. So Marvin is not panicking. Took a lead shot, bit pointless from that range. More lead. And that, I think... Oh, I was about to criticise him for taking lead there, but he did get the kill. So I shan't. I would have preferred him to go into slow lag and do it that way, but it's fair enough. The 2 Su-25s, I think they're just flying past each other. Su-25s aren't interested in killing each other. That's simply not their job, and they're not very good at it. Anyway, Kilo Hotel is going in from probably Preen to kill this SS6. What he doesn't know is that SS6 I think is already down anyway, so it doesn't really matter. No, my mistake. He was the guy that... Yeah, he is. It's okay. We've already looked at that shot, haven't we? Yeah, so Preen killed the SS6. Right. I think that's all of the blues that's in the air. Let's scroll forward. Preen died here for some reason. Let's just see if we can see why he died. Preen just crashed into the ground. Didn't see any lag there, so it was either lag or he just crashed into the ground. I don't know which. Either way, it was a bit silly, so there you go. Right, Tail, man of the match is on another run. He's man of the match because he killed so many expensive jets with this tiny little cheap jet. So Wolf Shadow and Coffee are on an overlap pair, it looks like, on the right flank. Yep, they are. Coffee's joining in. I don't like how they're flying so slowly, but they are in friendly territory, so yeah, it's not too bad. Whenever you see a guy flying slowly in a small theatre like this, the thing about a theatre like this is it's small, that it's 80 miles from base to base, so you're never really out of danger. The only time you're out of danger is if you flew off that direction miles away. So essentially you're always in combat. So essentially as soon as you take off, you've got to be burners on and 600 knots all the time. So as soon as I see someone flying at 400 knots like this, thinking that is safe, you're never safe in a theatre. It's unrealistic, obviously, a theatre like this, but you're never safe in a deathmatch kind of theatre like this. So we may well see stuff happening. I thought Tail might go for him, but maybe not. Yes, I knew that. As soon as I saw Wolf Shadow flying slowly and conservatively, I knew that would be the downfall. You're just a sitting duck in a theatre like this, so that's bad. Right, Tail, the man, is about to impart some justice. So he does have a radar on this jet. It's pretty awful. You would never use it really on an F5 because it's do more damage than good. It will show hostiles where you are. So you fly by eye, and seeing a big, slow F-15 up here is the kind of thing that Tail lives for in an F5. So let's see. Yeah, 300 knots. If Wolf Shadow was flying properly at 600 or 700 knots, like Coffee, this wouldn't be a problem. The F5 would never catch up with it. So it's something to bear in mind, something not to ignore. That's a missile out at Angels 3, at 3 miles. Now that is too far for an aim-line pop-up, but we're up high. It makes all the difference. Suddenly the ranges of the missiles double from 2 miles from a cold guy to 4 miles. So there's a good chance this is going to kill Wolf Shadow. And it's Wolf Shadow down, and he did deserve to die, to be honest, so that's fair enough. Now, Coffee is protecting... No, he didn't die. Let's give him a second shot. Yes, he is. Right, so that's Wolf Shadow down. So, that's good, but notice how, even though one was flying slowly, they did have... We're linked up, and they were covering pair, overlap pair. This is how the Blues should have been fighting. The Blues weren't. The Blues were just a bunch of idiots flying by themselves, for themselves. But the Reds were flying with tactics, and you can see these two guys for the whole mission were covering each other. And that's good, because, I mean, at the worst case scenario, if one does die, which is good, it was possible, in this is a really dangerous scenario, deathmatch scenario, someone's going to be dying, it allows at least the other guy can come in and take the guy out. So it allows a measure of security. Unfortunately, Coffee had his belly to the Tail at the time, so he may not see him. And a beautiful move from Tail there. So he's gone up, he hasn't burned too much speed off, he's now diving down to get his energy back. And what he should do now, I think he's probably a little bit overexcitable, but what he should do is burners on, Mach 2 out the hell out of there. Perfectly safe, go and refuel, go and get more missiles. I get the feeling he's going to try and get himself in a dogfight, we'll see. And they do this, the guys do this, they know I'm going to bollock them in the debrief. 750 knots, nothing can catch that up. Beautiful. Right, he's now invincible where he is, just fly home, get more missiles, be useful to the team. Don't get in a dogfight. Oh, he's actually doing it. Well done, Tail. No, it's not. Of course not. That would be too easy. But she is. Look at his indecision now. Shall I go home or shall I take the bollocking? Shall I go home or shall I take the bollocking? He is going to go home. Well done, Tail. You don't get a bollocking. Good. Right. I guess we better go and see what happens next. Stuff is occurring. Right, let's scroll back a little bit. Elo is flying found ground targets to bomb. Is having a good look at them. Unfortunately, they are friendly ground targets, so it's wasting his time a bit. That's not Elo's fault. There's no way Elo can operate out here to kill the red guys because there's no cap cover. Moral of the story, if you're blue, just don't bother being a ground attack because your cap are idiots and they will not help you. Just, if you're going to play stupid, everyone might as well just be a cap plane, to be honest. And nothing Ella can do, it's not his fault. It's obviously going to get shot down here. Recall coming in, 600 knots, all good. Let's go that forward a little bit. Oh! Recall turned off. Yep, and I see why, because he has finally got some cover from one of the boys, Signore, in an F-15. Right. Signore's in an F-15, which is what we're training him up to be. So we're going to pick apart anything that's not perfect. And the first thing he does was probably an out of limit shot, but we're not going to criticise it because Edo was calling for help, and it's done enough to turn recoil away. So that'll do for now. Finn's coming in, or should be coming in on the overlap, but isn't. I'm not sure what he's doing out there. So these two should be a linked pair. They should be helping each other out. Recoil is a full timer. Finn is not. He's not even a member. Finn isn't. So it's just a guy we let in occasionally because he's a nice guy. So don't expect any team play from Finn, I don't imagine. Right, now Signore has got an easy kill here, whether he knows it or not. He's got a good 800 knots and he's in a dive, so he's going to catch that Mirage up. Nothing that Mirage can do to escape because he's got no potential energy in the bag because he's on the deck. Signore has potential energy in the bag, which he can convert to 900 knots if he so pleases. Chase this guy straight down. That's what I'd like to see. However, that does lead to things like target fixation when you're chasing a guy, so I wouldn't criticise Signore if he decided to pull out. Target fixation is the worst thing you can get, and it's what you must avoid at all costs. It's closing pretty quickly. Yeah, he turns away. So we could have gone in and killed him, but we won't criticise him for not. Like I said, target fixation is a real thing. For all he knows, there's a silent F-15 coming in this way on the cover. So that's okay. Right, we've got Uderosa, Signore, Tender's not in a... So Atomic, Uderosa and Signore in cat planes now. They see them working together in a chainsaw now. I've seen not a single bit of team play from the Blues yet. Just guys tossing around is all I've seen. Looks like Tail didn't RTB like I told him to. Instead, he's guns. In now, there is an element of forgiveness, I guess, here. Now, these F5s are cheap. You get like 10 of them, which is more than you could use even if you wanted to. So you could say it's a throwaway type plane. So you could just say that's where you can just charge in and die, because it is a competitive deathmatch at the end of the day, and you can just take another one then. So I guess we can't criticise for that reason. Whereas an expensive plane like the Flanker or the F-15, you certainly can't do that. Very limited numbers of them. Right, I don't think much is going to happen at the moment, so we will scroll through standby. It's gone a little bit further forward. Tails trying to catch his mirages up. It's never going to happen. If you're going to catch something up like that fast, you've got to be up high with potential energy. You're not going to do it chasing it down on the ground. So he gives up, and wisely so. Scroll through. Oh, my pet hate. This is I mean, at least it's in its friendly area, but as soon as you see someone spinning around in circles, and I say every match because I always hear someone do it in every match, that's usually when they die. If you see someone spinning around in circles, it's usually when they just don't know what they're doing, and it's the worst thing you can do. It gives every single advantage to a bad guy if you're sitting spinning around in circles, and that is what Recoil was doing. He's being absolutely indecisive, and he will probably get shot. We'll let him off a little bit because at least he's in friendly territory spinning around in circles. As we said time and 10 times again, you go in or you go out. There is no sitting spinning around in circles unless you want to die. We've got missiles out. That was from Signore on an A10, which was 15 miles away. It's a bit ambitious, to be honest. It's kind of 7 miles for a kill shot there. However, there's a chance the A10 is a noob and he might fly into it. I very much doubt it. So a bit of a silly shot. Okay, Uderosa. This also a silly shot. It is on Recoil. Recoil's heading cold, and he's a 9 mile shot out. So there's no. So cold, even with a long range missile, 4 miles. 4 miles is your max. So it's over twice the limit of this missile. The only way Recoil will get hit is if he turns into it, and that's extremely unlikely. So I personally would have saved that missile. And then Uderosa turning cold, that's fine, that's good. Turning cold is good, we like that. And a nice good split S there. Signore silly missile there. I think, okay, it's fine. Signore is closing up the attack. Same thing, chasing a cold target, 8 mile shot, it just doesn't work. The maths isn't there. Got to do the maths before pulling the trigger. Cold target, I mean, you could argue it's slightly flanking, but cold target's 4 miles. Anything above 4 miles is not going to kill him unless he turns around and flies into it, which is not going to happen. So, also his aspect was a bit shit as well. The guy was flanking left. Okay, actually... recoil may be about to bite the bullet for doing... Recoil was bad flying around here. We saw him spinning around in circles, then heading out, and then kind of heading back in, and then, you know, it's all mushy. Bad. In or out. In or out. Not spinning around circles, and then kind of in, and then kind of in, and then flying like this, and then, you know... You can do this in a safe area, but like we said before, there's no safe area in an 80-mile deathmatch. So he might actually get killed by this out-of-bounds shot. And, you know, he knows where that missile's coming from. His RWR at least should be telling him where that's coming from. So he should be telling him that he's flying now towards a missile. And the missile was out of puff before it even came round. In fact, it was never really on him. Okay, that's fine. We can assume then that Recoil decided that he was going to beat that missile by doing his turn, which he did. But it's ambitious to turn into someone so close. I just can't see the point of it. Just fly away, let your F-15 or whatever come in and fight. Get the feeling Recoil's going to get shot. He should get shot. But he's not. And here we see the beauty that is target fixation. So, we roll that back just a touch. So Signori fired at this guy, and then didn't really think about it. Now at this point, when you pull the trigger, you should make the decision at pulling the trigger whether the guy is going to die or not. You should never be firing unless it's something like that shot, which is unless it's something like a posturing shot. You should never be pulling the trigger and be not confident it's going to kill them. So this missile here should only be fired when you're confident you can kill this guy, which means you'd have to do the math. So if I would like to think if that was me, I would get within 4 miles before taking the shot, at which point I know it's going to kill that guy, unless, you know, he does something amazing, which is rare. Someone going to beat a missile. So at that point, you know that he's going to be a dead guy, at which point you can change targets. What you can't do is fire a silly shot, an 8-mile shot at this guy, and just assume it's going to kill him, and then go and fight another bad guy. And that's what we're going to see from Signori here. So he's fired the shot at this guy. He's well out of bounds. He hasn't done his sums right, and he's just going to assume that it kills him, and then he's going to go off and chase another target. Either that, or it may have been a radar glitch, a radar problem where these two merged. He may have lost track of the radar. That is possible. So maybe I shouldn't be too hard. But either way, he lost track of the fact that there was 2 hostiles here. That's what happened there. And now he's shooting this guy, either thinking this guy's dead or thinking that this guy is actually this guy. So it's a position he should never have put himself in the first place. He knew there was 2 targets in there. And he's got a full case of, at this point, on purpose or not, of target fixation. He's fully focused on killing this guy. And it's always a bad idea to focus on killing a cold target. It almost always leads you into trouble, unless it's a really slow target that you can catch up quickly. Usually if it's a cold target, fire a missile and then just fly away. It's just almost always, especially in hostile territory, almost always going to end badly for yourself. And it's put him now in a dogfight merged with Recoil. And from Recoil being in real trouble, because Recoil should have been shot down about there, to Recoil now having the upper hand. And there's no real chance of killing Zoidberg here. Zoidberg isn't a Mirage. He's a fast guy. Signori is above 4 miles. He's got no real potential energy in the jet anymore. There's nothing he can really do to kill Zoidberg. So he shouldn't be here doing this. He put a last missile out. It had some pitch authority, which is not very good, but it's just a last kind of quick shot. Okay, Signori now knows that he's done goofed. He knows he shouldn't be following this guy, so that's good at least. And it's probably going to allow him to get out safely. Recoil can't get around in time to get on his 6 by the looks of it. So he did have a mistake there, but at least Signori's worked his way out of it by doing what he should do, which is turn around and run away. Now what we don't want to see from Recoil is turning around and spinning around in circles like an idiot. We want to see him running away. Let's see him run away. Come on, you can do it. Yes, he's doing it. Okay, that's better. And he's got his man on the overlap. Okay, so that worked out okay. Udarosa is a silly shot, 9 miles on a cold target. It's just another waste of a missile. However, that said, flying flankers, you do have to put things like posturing shots in to upset your target. So I'm not going to criticise too much. He may want to upset this target. Is there any chance? Is there any real point of chasing a bad guy into his own base? Not really. There's no point of it. If he's going away like this into his base and there's no one else about, there's no point. There's nothing to be gained by chasing this guy. Just give up, get back into your chainsaw, concentrate on your team attacks at that point. No point of chasing guys in. I have no doubt we're going to see Udarosa just flying in there like a fool and getting shot, but we shall see. Static is doing stuff. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's chasing this A10 down. No, I'll take that back. Udarosa's making a good decision. They've got their team tactics in order now, the Blues have. They've put a line in the sand here and said we're not going past it because we just get shot down. That's good. That's what we want. So Udarosa is now doing other stuff. He's decided there's a target out here, which is a much better target. This is a bad target. So let's go. This A10's obviously in a world of pain. There's nothing he can do. He's got two guys coming for him. And it's a missile out. That's a kill shot. 5 miles on flanking target, as we know from our maths. Nothing Sonic can do. He's going to get hit by that missile. Pow. And he's down. That's fine. So unlucky for Sonic. He just didn't have his air cover up at the time. That's just how it is. Blues have got air superiority back around the centre ground. Now, what we don't want to see is Blues, like I keep saying, flying in and getting shot. Let's have the Blues pull back here, which is still enemy territory. They can still do damage here. Come back here, work as a team. Let's not fly in like an idiot. Let's see that. Go. Get the feeling that Static is being stubborn. No, she's turning away. No, too late. There's missiles on her. So Static shouldn't have been there. She should. I'm guessing she's doing ground pounding. So I should have had all these targets to kill. This is going to get shot by this Mirage. That's an initial good turn. That's a nice 180-degree turn. It's kept it very fast for a Harrier as well. So can't criticise that at least. Udarosa just got shot by a tank, strangely. Let's see. That is that's a kill shot. 4 miles on a hostile cold aspect is a kill shot, as we know. Nothing Static can do about that. Okay, so that's how it is. She shouldn't have been there. Oh dear, Atomic's being a noob. So what we're seeing now is one of the Blues. He got bored. He did team tactics for 5 seconds and they said, I'm bored. I now want to just charge at the enemies. And he'll go in, he'll probably will kill this guy, but it doesn't really serve the team much. The team fight is here. They want to be here, defending this target. If I was in the Blue side, I would make sure they're all here, and if anyone was going past this line, they would get a lot of fucks thrown into them. So that's what they need. They need a team commander who's going to throw some fucks into them. Which the Reds probably did have. So he's here, he's going to kill this Harrier, it's going to be easy, but what does it really serve to do? As soon as he shoots him down, another Harrier is just going to take off. It should be here doing the tactical stuff, killing these ground units and giving tactical cover. So let's see. Well, he's fucked that up, hasn't he? Okay, so he's come round onto a 90-degree, and he realises it's too fast, which is good. And then he's kind of turned out again and then turned in, and now he's coming on a side aspect again. It's a little bit ugly, this is. So how should he have merged? Well, the optimal way, there's two ways. One, you can just go into a rolling diving merge like that. If, depending on your speed, you might be too fast to do that. If that, then you've got to do high yo-yo. You've got to yo-yo up, burn your speed off, and then back down on this trail. Don't do all this wiggly bullshit. He's probably going to end up spinning around in circles, I imagine. He's trying to keep this guy in his wind mirror. He's doing an okay job at it. He's done okay. That's fairly good recovery. Yeah, okay. It wasn't really needed all this stupid bulgy stuff, but he's got there in the end. Right, so Fox 2, please. He's got too close. Within 1,000 feet, it's too close for any missile. So he's now put himself in guns range, which is not ideal against a slow target like this. It would have been nice to do the high yo-yo. Now, the good thing about the high yo-yo up here, it takes you down to kind of 300 knots. It allows the hostile to get away. And that's what you want. You want the hostile to get away, so you're not too close to fire a missile. So he's shot himself in the foot here. He's got too close. And he's now got to yank on his speed brakes, wiggle around, trying to stay behind. And it's lots and lots of work that doesn't need doing. All this time, hostiles can be coming in. So he's not now got a guns, but it's difficult. It's very difficult to gun people down at 260 knots in a flanker. He's stalling now. He's coming into stall. Good thing about stalling is, and he was up to some huge alpha there. Good thing about stalling is, at least it does allow the hostile to get away a bit, and you get above 1,000 feet, and then we can fire a missile. Now, any missile in the world would miss this, because look how much missile work that missile had to do. He has, however, got an R-73, which is the, I don't know if it's realistic, but it's just an amazing missile. And it handled the work beautifully, and it was a kill in the end. So, a little bit pointless. I just don't see the point of him being there. He's just obviously going to get shot down. Everyone knows it. I'm sure he knows it as well. So, nice kill, but bad play overall. And indeed, we can see the Reds all hunting him down. And not only that, he's now low speed as well. And these guys are high speed. There's nothing he can do to get speed in the jet quick enough to get away from these guys. He's dead whatever he does now. Can do a bit of wiggling, a bit of weaving. Nothing's going to help. This Mirage is going to catch him up all the time. Can't beat maths. Somehow dodged that. He must have had some good angles in there. But look at the speed difference from recoil, 700 knots. It would take a minute to get this plane up to 700 knots. If he could get there in the first place. 2 miles. Recoil taking his time, which is good. No real threat. I see Tender. Tender was actually shooting at Atomic there. Did you see that? That was lucky that Recoil got the kill, otherwise Tender would have team killed. Very dangerous flying in Harriers. You've got to make sure. So, let's say, imagine that did kill his teammate. It's very, very easy to avoid team kills. It's only the same couple of guys that do the team kills. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that it's their fault. If everyone was team killing, then we could say, oh, it's not a person's fault. It's something that happens. It's just the same 2 or 3 guys doing all the team killing. It's their fault. So how do they avoid team killing? We've got hours and hours of educational videos on this. But it's the same thing. There are a huge amount of options to stop this guy shooting on a friendly. You can do a visual merge. So you can get a visual look at the target and find out that it wasn't a Mirage, it was indeed a flanker. So it just means to get close enough before you take the shot. He didn't do that. He shot it when he was just a tiny dot. Big mistake. He can call into his GCI. These guys have a full-time GCI. The GCI's job is to tell them whether it's a friendly or a hostile in front of him. So it should have. So the GCI, Tender should have called into the GCI, declared what the flanker off his nose was, and the GCI would have said, "That's a friendly, Tender. Don't shoot it." Thirdly, it's not a solution that everyone wants, but if it stops team killing, I'm happy to use it. He could have pressed his F10 button, just one button, clicked on it, and looked. He would be shown a map with his friend shown in front of him, and he would have known that's not a bad guy. Don't shoot it. That's the third way of doing it. And the fourth way, all he had to do was just talk to Atomic, just say, "Atomic, I'm coming to help you. What plane are you flying?" Or Atomic, put out a flare, or something like that. That's the communication. There's 4 really easy ways, and you only need to do one. Any one of those 4 will stop you shooting at a team guy. Tender can be bothered, whatever, didn't do it right, shot at a bad guy. Anyway, we will let him off and we won't punish him because it wasn't a team kill. And I've done that as well, so it would be mean to punish him because of that. Anyway, recoil is whatever, just flying away, got his kill. Don't think the Harrier's going to do anything. Right, Tender's come in his Harrier. I don't really know what it's trying to achieve in the Harrier. Again, why would you charge in to the bad guy area in a Harrier that can't really defend itself? I don't know. But he's done it. I guess he was trying to help Atomic. I don't know. I don't really want to judge. Again, Atomic shouldn't have been there. If that was me in a Harrier here, I wouldn't have helped Atomic. I would have let him die because it's his own fault. He won't learn if you help him out. He needs to learn. Anyway, so obviously, what the fuck was that? He shot at Atomic again. And it's hit Atomic. Hit Atomic's dead body. Okay, it's still technically not a team kill because Recoil did the team kill. So, well, I let him off again. Amazing trajectory that AIM-9 did. Right, Zoidberg's now coming in to kill Tender. It's a hard shot. He's coming in at 600-700 knots. Remember, we've talked about this. Going really, really, really fast like this really doesn't help your missile. It doesn't help it at all. It makes it harder, and especially on a flanking target, probably outside of kill parameters now because of those 2 things I just said. Here's me about to be wrong, but we'll see. I was wrong. Yep, fine. So he killed him. Good show, Zoidberg. So Zoidberg's, there's been lots of good flying. Zoidberg's flown well on red. Recoil's, he's done alright. Coffee's flown really well. I think Coffee was the biggest killer of the match and didn't die, so that's pretty good. Anyway, let's carry on. It's just about 5 minutes later. The red cap cover is back in the air. They had problems. I think Wolf Shadow got shot down. Marvin and Coffee, I think, ran out of gas or ran out of whatever. They're having a bit of a tussle with Preen. Preen's in an F5. I don't know what his mission is, so I'm not going to comment. But he's done a good job avoiding missiles and stuff, so he's out there. I don't think there's going to be any killing. We're going to scroll forward. Some nice communication here between the Reds. You see they come in as a pair. They're watching out for each other. Also, they get to the halfway line. They don't chase after him like a 5-year-old. Instead, they both turn round in unison back to cover from Coffee. That's good flying. And it makes these guys pretty much invincible if they keep flying like that. Got some blue guys coming. We'll scroll it forward. So Preen did a nice reversal, a good 10-mile backtrack, just like we like to see. Good flying. Riddle versus Coffee. They've got a little bit close to each other here. I don't know how they've managed that. Yeah, wow. Okay, so it's Riddle versus Coffee. This is going to be an interesting match. They're both pretty highly skilled. Both pretty aggressive, and they both, you know, like a pilot is. They want to kill the bad guy. So Coffee is going on a 40-degree crank. That's pretty much perfect. He's down in the mud. I don't like that, but that's just how it is. 650 knots. That's all fine. A little bit slow. I would prefer to have bags off and see 750 knots. He prefers bags on. So let's see how that goes. Riddle is now turning on his crank. They're a little bit far away from each other to be cranking, but saying that, they're down on the deck, and essentially all of the distances with regards to missiles are cut in half down here. So you can crank a lot later. So good 40-degree crank from Coffee, nice positive. 40-degree crank from Riddle, nice positive. Speeds are almost the same. A little advantage from Riddle here. Riddle's got rid of his fuel tanks, and you can see he's gotten a few extra knots. It's not a huge amount, so it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. Now for the turn-in, mustn't leave it too late. So the optimal shot down here on the deck is 6.5 to 7 miles for a head-on shot. So you want to be turning in at 9 to 10 miles. I think Coffee's going to leave this too late by the looks of it. It takes 2 miles to turn in. So Riddle's got that just right. And now he's got to wait. He's fired too early. He's shown his hand too soon. 2 mistakes from Riddle. 1, he was firing while he had pitch authority in the jet, meaning that missile's got to do a huge amount of work. 2, he's not allowed any lead. When he fired, the hostile was heading this way, and he should have been leading out this way. He was going to take the shot. Now look at the work this missile's going to have to do. It's going to have to do all this turning. Coffee's turning at 8 miles. That's a little bit late for my liking, but if he can make that turn quick enough, he'll get it still. 6G is just about acceptable for a turn, and he's got to fire right now. He's got to fire now, otherwise this missile, although it wasn't in parameters, it will still kill him if he flies into it. Coffee gets the warning from this pitbull. Coffee gets a missile off, and it's a good missile. Notice how there's almost no pitch authority in his jet. So that missile's going to get a nice clean burn. Unlike Riddle's, which is starting to slow down already. Good turnout from Coffee. It's doing everything. I would have preferred to see a bit more G on that. I like to see 9G. I find 6G a little bit lazy. You know, why do 6G when you can do 9G is my kind of philosophy. Make it extra safe, but that's what he wants to do. Right. And one thing I should mention, Coffee shot was a kill shot as well. It was within 6 miles. Riddle's was not a kill shot. It was outside of math parameters. This was inside of maths parameters. Technically, that was a better shot from Coffee. And there was another AIM 120. Where did that come from? Right, I've missed that. I have to watch that again now. There was a second shot from Riddle at 5 miles. Now that's a better shot from Riddle. He shot it when he was flying clean. Pitch, so it's going to be a good fast shot on Coffee. It's 5 miles. However, by that point, what he didn't know was that Coffee was actually in flank. So it's 5 miles is the limit on the flanking aspect. So Coffee can beat it, and he's already turning, so Coffee will beat it. And the other thing is, I don't think Coffee realised, but he wasn't targeting the F-15. He was targeting the static, which is a useless kill, basically. Killing a Harrier in Blue Land is useless. Killing an F-15 is good. So the only mistake Coffee made was targeting the wrong guy. Obviously, static's just going to go straight into that. bonk, dead. Right, and then Coffee gets out. A little bit disappointing to see that the Reds didn't have Chainsaw in play. I would have liked to see Wolf Shadow and Marvin covering Coffee. They left Coffee out to dry on his own. And it's very hard to go in and kill guys on your own. You've got to do it in teams. So that was a little bit disappointing, to be honest. Finn is in a MiG-21 and Gumbo is in an AV-8 and they're about to merge with Preen. I guess that is our next fight. I doubt Coffee's stupid enough to turn around and get back in a fight. I imagine Coffee will fly correctly and fly home now. Let's go and have a look at this lot. So these guys have somehow missed each other. Exactly the same altitude. They should have been directly in front of each other. And merge. And Preen has seen the target. Preen's doing a nice 60 turn. Doesn't want to get into there for the scissors, so he does want to burn off his speed. And he's avoiding scissors at all costs. Get into lag. He wants to head into lag pursuit. Okay, he's got into a normal pursuit, and that's fine. It's good enough. He never had as much speed as the MiG-21, so that helps. And just fine, just waiting for the shot now, and that's a perfect shot. That's a kill. Oh, look at that. Just, these aren't the best missiles in the world. If someone can turn just at the right time, and Finn did, he can be beaten, and he did. Gumbo's lost his awareness, I think. Doesn't know what's going on. Seathor doesn't want anything to do with this fight. He's a ground attack guy. Right, so problem with that is now Preen's getting too much speed in the bird. Finn is taking speed off his bird, which is fine. So Finn's doing the right thing. He's S-ing and taking speed off his bird. And he's trying to get Preen to overshoot, which is working. And a huge depart from the MiG-21 there. Look at that. Oh, wow. I don't think that was lag. I think that was a genuine departure. Let's go and have a look at that again. That was interesting. Yep. So Grumpy Finn's gotten too excited. He's yanked back on that stick and to the side. And he's ruined his airfoil. And that is one fully departed aircraft. And that is probably just going to go crash into the ground now. No, he made it. He made it. So, although it was fully departed, it was pretty damn effective. There's not really much any way of controlling a departure like that. So it forced the F5 to fly past him. And the F5 ended up getting killed by Coffee, who was coming back. It just happened to be good timing coming back. I guess they're probably communicating with each other. So even if Coffee hadn't been there, strangely enough, the advantage goes to Finn there for doing that huge departure brake check. Finn could probably have just headed back to base then, and the F5 probably would have lost situational awareness. Either way, easy kill for Coffee there, and good work. So we like that. I think there was a team kill around here somewhere, so we're just going to keep an eye on it. But there was. Oh dearie me, poor old Gumbo. So Gumbo, another one of these guys who likes to team kill. Again, no reason for it. Absolutely no reason for it. It's what are the four ways of doing it? A, visually identify the aircraft. B, press the F10 button. It's just one button on your keyboard you have to press. That's all it takes. Tiny bit of energy required to do that. And it will tell him, there's a friendly right in front of me. C, talk to your GCI. Declare. Don't just fire at stuff randomly. Declare, is this a goodie or a baddie? And the fourth way is to communicate with the pilot. Is there anyone out here on an Su-25 heading, what's that, east, blah, 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 blah. All these things to be done. But instead of that, just thinking, oh, there's an aeroplane. Let's shoot. I just can't get behind the thinking of why someone would be like that. But he does. One tiny thing I could say is maybe. Now there is actually, we're going to give him a tiny bit of credence here. Option C was off the table. Their GCI, I just realised, couldn't see anything because the AWACS is there. No, that's not right. The GCI can always see the red guy. No, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. It should have been done. And Seedor, he was doing what he had to do. One thing I noticed, that Seedor never responds on the radio. Every time I've tried to talk to him, he just doesn't bother responding. So there's a chance that Gumbo was asking and Seedor wasn't responding. Fairly small chance. I reckon it's more likely he just shot him down, but I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't say. But either way, there was no real reason for that. There was multiple options open to Gumbo, but there we go. It's done now. So Right. Let's keep going. This is a very action-packed mission, you'll agree. Hell of a lot going on. Sometimes I like it when they don't bother doing the tactical fighting, because you get all this action. Right, more action coming in. Riddle's had his fight with Coffee, turned back in. I didn't like it how Riddle turned back in as well. Riddle should have flown back 10 miles. Riddle doesn't listen very much, but he is a good fighter, so we'll let him off with it. Very aggressive. It's probably our most aggressive guy. Is aggressive good? Not really. It can be useful. You can go and rack up a bunch of kills, but most of the time aggressiveness just makes a makes a maverick, like in Top Gun, and mavericks aren't very useful in the long game. Anyway, we like our Riddle, so Jesus, look at that shot. So Riddle was flying in this direction and shot at that aim. I've never seen a shot that weird before. Let's just try that again. So he's aiming at this guy, or pointing at this guy, but fired 30 degrees off, and poor missile had to do all that work, look. And he might even beat it. He did beat it, look. So that's silly Riddle. But got Gumbo. Nice. Yep, that's fine. Tails in his superior F5. He doesn't bother shooting down Harriers. Oh dear. And Gumbo. Oh no, he died. Got hit by a missile, didn't he? Tail doesn't bother shooting F5s. He only shoots F15s down because he's the man. Riddle obviously comes in and kills MiG-21. MiG-21 is flying silly and slow. So let's just go back to what we said about Wolf Shadow earlier on. Flying slow even in your own territory in an 80-mile theatre is terrible. Always got to be supersonic pretty much if you want a chance of staying alive. So Grumpy Finn, flying slow, saving gas, it's just not going to help. Got to be 600-700 knots, and he would have been fine in that case. There was no reason to die. Right, okay, Coffee has... God, Coffee's everywhere at the moment, so let's see where he went. He did that kill. He flew 10 miles back. Can't really criticise that. He's got a call from Grumpy Finn, I imagine, that he's in danger. He's turning back to save the day. This time, Tail is not going to be so lucky. Straight on head fight with a F-15 that's got situational awareness will obviously only end one way. There's an AIM-120C in the noggin. Perfect shot and... perfect kill. Oh no, is Coffee going to die? He did. Oh my word. Poor old Coffee. Oh, that's going to hurt. So just before, a millisecond before Tail died, he got a missile off. I don't know what to say about that really. I guess you could argue that Coffee could have taken his shot and then turned around. In fact, yeah, we will argue that. And this is a good point to make as well. So, Coffee comes in and takes the shot. Now, when you take your shot, unless it's a posturing shot where you just want to posture someone away or something like that, you'll do the maths in your head and you'll know before you even fire the shot, or as you're pressing the shot, that it's going to kill the bad guy, or there's a very low chance of not killing the bad guy. And so what I like to do is I do that in my head, and so I know I'm going to kill the bad guy when I take the shot, and then I know I'm free to turn away. I don't have to worry about watching whether it's going to kill the guy or not. So Coffee was worried about watching whether it killed this guy or not. If you do the maths right, you don't really have to. You can fire the shot and be almost certain that guy's dead. And even if he hasn't died, you're already turned around and running away at that point, so you're safe anyway. So my criticism here is that take the shot straight into 9Gs. That's what I would like to see myself doing. And then you don't get the silly kill, which is a great kill by Tail. I won't take it away from Tail at all. It was a perfect kill. But so Coffee could already have been in his turn around there. He didn't have to confirm the kill if he'd had that confidence in himself. So that's my criticism of that. It appears that Finn wasn't killed, so he's somehow flying along at 200 knots, but he's not effective in any way, so I'm not going to worry about him. Let's scroll forward. And he did crash there. Right, more fighting. Poor old Static. It's not Static's day, so there's a tendency to just kind of run into the enemy base, but obviously she's going to get shot down every time because she's in a Harrier, so there's not really much of a comment to make. Obviously this missile is going to go here, obviously the missile is going to hit Static. Nothing Static can do. Bosh, the end of story. However, let's let Riddle come in. That's interesting. So Marvin has made a mistake. Well, he's not really made a mistake, but he just didn't know this guy was coming in. Can't blame him. There's no GCI because Riddle shot the AWACS down. Good job, Riddle. It allows him to get all these kills. We're on half speed there. Marvin knows something's up. I don't know how he knows something's up. I think it's because he's got a lock from STT lock from Riddle, so he's got countermission stuff going out. but he's made the mistake of turning into Riddle. He knows where Riddle is because he's getting a lock warning from Riddle. Why does he turn into Riddle? Oh, no, my mistake. Right. Scratch all that. It turns out he was getting shot by Atomic. The shooting from Atomic is slightly out of parameters. You know, head on down here should be kind of 6.5, 7 miles, slightly out of parameters. But it's enough to upset Marvin, so it's fine. It's all fine. It's all good. It's all fine. Another really weird shot from Riddle. He's refuses to take lead on these shots. You've got to put lead, otherwise look at that work that missile has to do. And it makes the missile very upsettable and prone to be dodged. So I wouldn't be surprised if Marvin can dodge this. And he does. Easy dodge. Bad shot from Riddle. So Riddle's going to put himself in an awkward situation here. Now he's about to merge. And he might not get a chance to get another missile off. He hasn't. He hasn't had a chance. So, because of his silly shot... Oh, gee. And Marvin's in a world of pain now. He's merged and got this guy. Now, why is he going high is the only question. High on defensive is, I think, 100% bad. So he should have been left, burner on, head out of this. And he could have actually survived if he'd done that. So he's kind of killed himself by going high. Because I doubt Riddle would have been able to turn in time and keep enough speed to keep on his 6. So he's easy pickings now. So that was an error from the red. Another terrible shot from Riddle. I don't know what he's doing. Again, look, he was aiming behind the guy. And no missile in the world at 3,000 feet can do that. So I don't know what Riddle's up to today. He's just very excitable, not taking his shots. Now here's more like it. Atomic's getting into the game properly now. Good firing, good fighting. Did his ERs to upset the red guy. Did, on a huge scale, upset the red guy. You see the red guy just panicked and went straight up. Made himself a sitting duck, and now he's got a kill shot in from probably 3 or 4 miles. That's a kill shot. It's an ET kill shot, and that's perfect. Well done, boys. Right, I'm getting a sore throat now, so I hope this doesn't last too much longer. Scroll forward. Missiles out. Recoil charging into the battle, 600 knots. Not fast enough for me at all, but I guess it'll have to do. That is 7 miles on a flanking target. That is out of limits. He should be doing his maths, saying that by the time he took the shot, it was hot, so that's fair enough. It would have been just about within limits at the time. Riddle's done excellent evasive manoeuvres. Sorry. I don't know how fast it was. Let's go and have a quick look out of interest. Let's see Riddle. Go Riddle. 9G. 10G. Perfect. That's what I like to see. That's how you beat missiles. And he even managed to keep a 600 knots. That's good. That's good flying. Right, let's run it through. If Riddle's smart, he'll just run away now. So I don't expect him to do anything stupid. He's getting fired on more, but recoil is not doing his maths now. That's a cold target. 6 miles is not going to cut it. 4 miles max. So these are wasted missiles. And good work from the Blues here. Good work from Atomic. Getting his chainsaw in play. Riddle's been in, Riddle's out. Riddle's calling is out, Atomic's in. Good chainsaw overlap, and we'd expect to see a kill from Atomic here. Why's it going so fast? There we go. 6 miles, that's a kill shot, Atomic. So Atomic should have been taking a shot at that point. Instead, he turns away, and I'll never understand this. So I don't know what that was all about. Either way, at least he wasn't in threat. So now he can take the shot, take the shot, take the shot, take the shot, take the shot. Take the shot. So what the hell was all that about? I don't know what that was. Atomic should be killed there. Obviously he should have shot from 5 or 6 miles, but it's made some mistake. I don't know what mistake it's made. It's made some silly mistake. 2 shots, both of them were just way too close, way too fast to work. So now they're merged. So this silly should never have got here, but we are. So let's deal with it. We're merged, 50 feet merge. Atomic has a slight advantage here. He's actually got slower quicker. As long as he doesn't go any slower than 450 knots, Atomic keeps the turning advantage. So let's just see how they pan out. So Atomic's turning well here. 8G, 450 knots. That's perfect for a flanker. And look how quickly he turned compared to the Mirage. Nothing really turns like a flanker at 450 knots. Why is that? It's because of the super low wing loading. Of this plane. There's so much wing there, including body lift, that it can turn at the right speed, extremely fast, and keeping the alpha low enough, retain its speed. So it's got to be at the right speed you've got to turn, and at the right alpha. If you go too high alpha, it becomes a sail and you burn off. If you're going too high, the flanker just doesn't like it. It's not aerodynamic enough plane to turn at 600 knots. The 650 is perfect with a flanker. 600 is good with a Mirage, but you just can't turn like a flanker at 450. So that is a kill there. Wow, my R73 is coming out right there. Oh, give me strength. It just lost him. Such a nice turn as well. Wasted. So you got these big looping turns from the Mirage, and this is how a Mirage likes to turn. It loves 600 knot 7G turns. It's very good at it. You can turn it, it's ramped up to 9G there. That's fine. A Mirage can handle that. Flanker can't. And two massive cock-ups by Atomic there. So he came in, he didn't shoot for some reason, God knows why. And then he got into a dogfight, did a beautiful, the best turn you could ever see, and then just lost complete situational awareness. That's such a shame, but at least he's getting out now, and I think he's got just enough speed in the jet to run. So it's easy kill now, obviously, from recoil. Now there's a 2.5 mile shot from a Magic. That's actually slightly out of limits. 2 miles is your max. Let's see, it might still kill. No, that's half a mile short. Atomic's dodge. Atomic didn't need to dodge. Oh, it's scrubbing off his speed. This allows recoil to get fast and take the lead. Now recoil is within kill limits. If he shoots now, he can get a kill. Oh, there's lots of weaving going on by Atomic. No need for any of it. There's no threat at the moment. It's just slowing himself down, allowing the Mirage to catch up. So this Mirage is just biding his time now. Tender is coming in, so he's got to take it. Can't leave it too long, recoil. Take the shot. Take the shot. I guess recoil didn't have any missiles. I think we'll take a guess that that's why that happened. We're now going to go into a turn fight. One tiny disadvantage to the Mirage is it's super fast now. He may overshoot. Good lag. He's coming into good lag. He did overshoot. Yeah. The problem with coming so fast is you get one shot and that's it, and then you pass. Then either you exit or you're in rolling scissors. If he's a sensible man, he'll exit. If he's stupid, he'll go into rolling scissors. He think he's taking the he's taking the exit. That's good. So lots of there was some cock ups there by Atomic, but he escaped by the skin of his teeth. And recoil is out, taking the sensible man's game, just flying away. Nothing can catch you up. I've said this a trillion times. Everyone knows it by now. Atomic, to his positive side, has got on 6 of that recoil pretty quickly. Has he got enough? Yes, he has. Look at that. So he has got on the 6 of that Mirage within 3 miles, and we know that within 4 miles is a kill shot for long-range missile, so he might still get the kill here. It's been very backwards and forwards, but recoil's done nothing wrong. Exiting the fight at that point was perfectly good. It's very rare that you see someone turn around and engage that quickly. Recoil's got his warning. It does have an IR warning, this Mirage. So what Recoil wants to do, dodge now by all means, but stay fast. Gotta stay fast. And a reversal. See a reversal? Man, he's down. Yeah, so he did a turn. It was an okay turn. In fact, no, got to analyse it properly. That's my job. So Recoil, let's see the pull he had. We're well within kill limits. Dodging this missile is possible. It's a big, long, lanky missile, and yawing is hard for this missile. 8G, nearly 9G, that was good. What we wanted to see to beat this missile is at that point, if you watch any of my, like the last big fight we did when I was dodging missiles, I turn 22.5 degrees to the right, 22.5 degrees to the left, 22 to the right. You don't measure it out perfectly, but you're just going to memorise it after a while. And so at this point, after 22.5 degrees, snap left, 9G left, and you would have beaten that missile. Turning 90 degrees right is not going to do this, just not going to do the trick. It's easy for the missile. 22 degrees right, 22 left, 22 left, 22 right, and this missile is forced to then whoop there and then whoop back, and that's full scrub on the missile. There's no scrub at this point. So that is criticism there. And another missile out, but that's fine. Interesting fight, but it went the Blues' way in the end. Tender spotted that chopper there, and he's flown straight past it. Whoops, that was a bit silly. Signore, I don't know where Atomic got to. He appears to have crashed somewhere. He has, hasn't he? Oh, Atomic landed, ran out of gas. Whoopsie. Okay. Not much you can do about that, really. Signore is on his own against Mirage by the looks of it. This is the F-15 to fight all day. So let's see is Signore going to fly properly, or is he worn down and being an idiot this time? We're going to see. A lot of these guys, especially the blue guys, get tired after an hour and start flying foolishly. So we'll see how it goes. F-15's got every advantage here. It's faster, it's higher, and it had better situation awareness at the beginning. What I'd like to see now is a left or right 40-degree crank, and then a turn in for a shot. So let's see that. And he's got it. Yep. He's been listening. He's been listening. This is how you fight. And the crank from Zoidberg, a matching crank. Now don't leave it too late to turn in. The optimal shot is 6.5 miles for this altitude, or maybe 7. So we've got to turn in right now if we want to take the shot. Don't leave it too long. He's done it fine. Good work from both of them. And you can see they both know how to fly. They both cranked at exactly the same time, although it was too early for both of them, but we'll give them that. And they both turned in at the same time. They've done their maths and they know when to fire, when to turn in and when to crank. And let's get ready for the shot. Any time within now 7 miles is a kill shot. Don't leave it too late. Don't leave it too late. Yeah, so Zoidberg, for whatever reason, didn't want to take the fight. And I don't blame him. It's an F-15 at 6 to 7 miles. I wouldn't take the fight either. And he's turning away and getting safe. That's fine. Recoil took the shot. It's okay. I've got no real criticism. My only criticism of the shot is that it was spinning. I saw spin authority when firing that roll, and roll will impart nasty yaw onto that missile and take a whole mile off that missile's range, make it into a shit missile. So it's just one thing to bear in mind. Otherwise, everything was perfect. And Zoidberg, that's a good turnout. Nothing to criticise there. And it's 600 knots, and just fly away now. Don't turn around. Fly away. You know you can beat this missile. Yeah. If you know all these distances, they're all pre-calculated in your head. You'll know exactly when you need to turn around, when it's safe to turn around. And you can see he's putting in some slow S's here. Some low degree S's. Absolutely fine. You can still keep over 600 knots. There's nothing wrong with that. He doesn't know how close that missile is. You can see when I do my missile dodging, I will do a few S's. Nothing wrong with it. It's not going to take away at all. And now it gets interesting. Now we're 4.5 miles. We're ever so slightly out of kill parameters for Signore. Maybe if it had a bit of windage, maybe it's just within parameters. But this was going to really test their mettle here. Zoidberg's doing perfectly. He's flying away. He can survive this, Zoidberg, if he just keeps his burners on and flies away. What we don't want to see is Signore getting too excited here and going all the way to their base, but we'll see. You see the confidence that Zoidberg has that he can beat this missile. He knows his numbers. He's done the maths. He knows that he can beat this with him going at this speed, turning around at that distance. This is what I was talking about earlier, having the confidence in your ability that you don't have to second guess yourself. And he's not doing all silly S's. He's not second guessing himself. Unfortunately, that is a slightly faster F-15. If you remember, it came in from altitude. It means it has potential energy. It can turn that into speed as it has, and it is closing on Zoidberg now, and is technically within kill parameters. So things are going to get a bit more interest. Oh no, Signore's given up on him and shooting at these guys, I think, which is fair enough. But we're getting a little bit risky now. I'd like to see Sense come out soon and turn around, but we'll see. We'll give him it for now. Zoidberg's still doing everything right. And Signore's sim some easy kills, and he's taken 2 good kills there, easy kills. He knows this guy was running away. He didn't have a threat from him, but now 9G, pull around, turn around, don't do any more silly stuff. That's acceptable. What's done so far, and he is just like I said, 9G. Oh no, he's not. Oh, give me strength, Lord. No, I forgot. He's actually a 5-year-old, and he wants to charge into the enemy base like a dickhead. Let's see how that works out for him, shall we? Don't get greedy. Never get greedy. You've killed you guys. Turn around. Don't be childish. No, never, ever, ever ends out well flying like a child. I don't know. He's just cocking around now. Well, he'll get a bollocking next time I can see him. I'll tell him that. Absolutely no reason to be here at all. Has no reason to be flying over the enemy base. And it is all his own fault. It's going to lose the blue team's last F-15. And he's got no right to survive this. This is all Coffee's kill. Bad Signore. He's done well until then. The child came out, decided to chase funny glitter balls around like a magpie, and he's got shot, and he rightly deserved to be killed. Somehow survived it. And yeah, he's dead. Okay, that's a shame. It was impressive until then. That's ruined his day. Right, Tender is doing things. Right, he has a hostile is shooting at this time. So let's see. I don't think there's any build up to this. I think GCI, Blue have an AWACS. GCI would have vectored Tender onto this guy, declared him as hostile. It's going to be a nice simple aim 9 kill, I think. It's good flying there. Patient. Just gets in a nice straight on pursuit. Takes the shot when he's ready and there's got no aspect to deal with. So that's good flying there. I like that. Okay, Trash is flying around the outside and no one spotted him, which is nice. It's hard to do that on here because it's a very small map. I guess he could do it because there's no AWACS, so that was a use of taking out the AWACS. Tender's just got himself shot, hasn't he? No, it's okay. Right. That will do, Pig. Next. Static, surprise, charging into the bad guys with no cover, and obviously he's going to die from a 20-mile shot. Don't need to comment on that really, and Static died a lot. Right, Tails back in the game. Tail and Preen, 2 F5s, going for their mad dash again, I guess. So Preen was shot at, probably about 8 miles away. He can dodge this easily, get away. Tail might have made it through. No, he hasn't. Good Mirage flying, covering each other. Oh no, poor old Zoidberg. Oh, just. Almost a kill from Tail there. That would have been 4 modern fighters. And killed easily, Joe. Basically, the F5s were spotted early, and that was the end of them. They've got no standoff weapons, so did well to get that close, to be honest. Static Dives, seen that. Someone's doing some ground attack. Some real-life ground attack there. I saw ground attack from Tender. That's cool. Right. Off Muderosa, scaring that guy away, blah 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 blah. I guess we better have a look at this. Very close towards the end now. Preen's flying towards this guy, Marvin in a Su-27. Uderosa's turned out, that's very good and wise, and when it's gone 10 miles he can turn back in and go into the fight. Marvin's lost situation. No, Marvin's chasing this guy. Marvin has a clear case of target fixation. Marvin's chasing this guy here at 20 miles away, and there's no point of doing that at all. I don't know why you would even think about doing that. And lucky for him, Preen hasn't seen him. If Preen had seen him, Preen would have come in and nailed him. So gets away with that one. Speed that up. Coffee's back on duty, chasing the F5 down. Preen's seen Marvin now. This could be a tasty dogfight. Right, merge Preen, Marvin. Cockpit to cockpit. Res of Coffee coming in, 700 knots, that's nice. Uderosa's not in yet. So, is Preen going to get a shot off in time? It's not likely. Lag happened there, I saw. Lag, and they're back. Shoot, Preen, shoot, for God's sake, shoot. I think Preen's lost awareness. No, he hasn't, it's fine. No, Preen's right not to shoot. I'm getting excited. That is out of limits. That would be a wasted shot. And he doesn't have any idea. Probably Coffee's behind him. Beautiful flying from Coffee. Look at that. Into a straight direct pursuit. Gets his speed good, so he can get a missile off. Perfect missile. Preen did take the shot at 4 miles. It's ever so slightly out of limits. It might kill him because he's going up high. Marvin made the same mistake again. Being chased, goes up high. Never go up high. Always works out badly. May work out badly here. We'll see. Coffee missed. Wow. Good dodging from Preen. Very good. He knew about that shot. I have no idea how he knew about that shot, but he did. And he dodged and flared. That's really good stuff. Now, I'd love to see a proper dogfight, F15 dogfight now. It would be sick. Yes, we're going to see it. Right, so, Coffee, extremely powerful but very heavy F-15 versus Preen, very lightweight airframe, not very powerful engines. There is more thrust to weight ratio in the F-15, but being coffee, it's probably got bags on or something, so it's probably going to be slow. So we'll just see how it goes. Coffee with 2,000 foot rear advantage. We have guns miss. Preen doing enough. He was 9G around that, forcing Coffee into 10G. And here's where the advantage of the weight of that tiny little F5 here. See how quickly that F5 can pull out, whereas the F15 is going to go down lower, bigger, heavier airframe. I don't know the difference in wing loading. Probably similar. It's hard to say. Rolling vertical scissors now, and almost Preen starting to win this now. Preen scrubbed plenty of speed off, and Preen is now in the driving seat. Coffee is now in trouble, trying to scrub the speed off that F15 while regaining control. Lateral scissors. Coffee's now got it back. He just went out wide enough. Oh, and a kill. And a kill. I guess he just got enough of a rollout around there to add a little bit of length and distance and lose enough speed to get back in control. That was a good fight. Look at that kind of barrel rolling scissors fight. Really sick. Right, anyway, that's that. Alderosius coming back in now. Can't criticise him. He did a good 10-mile run out just like he's supposed to, so that's all good. And he's coming in for a fight. Who's he trying to fight? Probably Wolf Shadow, who's now moving properly. He's learnt his lesson. He's travelling fast now. Or is it the 27? I don't know. It's a 10-mile shot. It's out of parameters, as we know. So he's done a cheeky shot. He's done that as a decoy shot. That as a disguised kill shot. All good, but it's 10 miles away. It's out of these missiles' range. As long as Marvin turns around and goes away, it's perfectly safe. And Udarosa can, that is a fire and forget missile, so Udarosa can just turn around, and Marvin has not dodged. He has not dodged. He's put 3 or 4 miles in there just flying towards those missiles. Oh no, sorry, it's 2 ETs. My mistake. So Marvin didn't actually get a detection of those missiles. He's had to see them visibly with his eyes, which is why it took him so long to see them. Is there any point in firing 2 ETs? No, not really. Then again, I'm not a flanker driver, so I can't criticise. He might get the kill for all I know. Come on, dodge Marvin. Come on, dodge Marvin. Don't you fly into them. Don't you? They're really easy to see. Twat. Well, he flew into it and shows what I know about flankers. So it turned out to be a good kill. Well done. And as well as that, perfect 180 degrees split S and out. So Udarosa has bucked his ideas up. He's back on my good list. Next, Riddle. Recoil. Recoil on a Su-27. I've seen his flying very questionable in these Su-27s before, so I get the feeling it's going to be questionable again. Criticism already. He's very slow on that turn. Well, that's not that bad. 500 knots, it's okay actually. We'll let him off there. Let's go forward. Recoil's decided he doesn't want this fight, I guess, because it's an F-15, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't want it either. Riddle's closing, so let's have a quick look at that. What was that? That was on a cold/flanking target, 8 miles, well out of limits. So it's not going to be a kill, and Recoil is now up to speed. So it really only served to warn the flanker that the F-15 is there. And the F-15 never wants to do that. He always wants to be stealthy as possible. So Riddle is going to put himself in trouble now. Let's just see what happens. Recoil has this really annoying, he's done it twice now, habit of turning into missiles. Sorry, 3 times he's turned into missiles. I hate seeing people turn into missiles. No, he's done a 90. I hate seeing 90 turns. 90s never work. Either way, he's got plenty of distance, so he's okay. Right, that said, it is a 4-mile shot. That is a 4-mile kill for a AIM-120. That said, it was a crap shot from Riddle. He was doing it with loads of, I think, picture authority, and you can see that missile's having to do a lot of work already. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's displaying right out to the side here because of when the shot was taken. And I do expect Recoil to be able to dodge this, so he's okay for now. He should be calling his friends in. Should be calling Wolf Shadow in right now. Missile out, 3.9 miles and AIM 120 Bravo. That's just within kill limits. Recoil's got to work to beat this now. The reason I don't like these 90-degree turns is because they're too big. They're too big to be missile dodging. Missile dodging should be well, it's hard to say because all scenarios are different depending where the hostile comes from. But if you're going cold like he was, I like using 22-degree turns, which are about, I don't know, about a quarter of what these turns are. Like you saw Zoidberg doing earlier. Much more effective for scrubbing missiles off because you don't allow that hostile to catch up. By doing these 90-degree turns, you allow the hostile to catch up, and it doesn't actually scrub missile off that well. So yeah, much less angles I prefer when you're being chased, at least when you're being chased. He's done well enough to scrub this off though. Another one coming in, 1700 knots within 4 miles. Again, it should be a kill. It's a Bravo, not a Charlie, but still I think it should be within kill parameters. So Recoil's doing well, and he's keeping his speed, so he's doing what he needs to do to stay alive. That's more like it, 22 degrees, much better. See how much more effective that is for beating the missiles, plus it doesn't allow the hostile to catch up not quite as quickly. Skadrecki's coming in. I wonder if Skadrecki's going to help. So this is good missile dodging activity. All the chaff in the world coming out, that's good, that's what it's there for. 22 degrees left, 22 degrees right, over 600 knots. That's acceptable flying. Riddle is faster and he is still catching up unfortunately, but let's see, I don't know. Oh, we're in half speed, stupid. Skadrecki's been called in. Oh, Recoil's, I think Recoil was dodging, but he took the opportunity to kill Gunzello as well. So that's pretty good. Riddle must be very frustrated that all of his missiles have been scrubbed. Skadrecki, aim 9, tailpipe, Riddle. Poor old Riddle. Just, it's hard. And I've said this before, chasing a guy often is a fool's errand. It's called target fixation. And you can chase a guy and chase a guy and chase a guy, and if you're dodging missiles like Recoil was, you probably end up getting shot yourself. Often if a guy's turning away and they're more than 4 miles away, I just turn away rather than chase him. It's usually a fool's errand. And it was, in this case, it's proved again to be a fool's errand. And Elo will get killed by that. There's nothing you can really do to dodge that. And that's good. It's good on the road. Right, Signori, hopefully he's grown up a bit from his 5-year-old tantrum, and we'll see. It's got a good shot, 5 miles on a flanking target that's just within kill parameters. So Recoil is fast. So that's probably going to allow him to evade. And it has. He's done enough work to. You see, the missile has decided I can't compete with that turn. I'm not even going to bother. This one was within 4 miles. This one, it's another kill shot. A little criticism. He didn't have quite enough lead, but he did have some lead. So not too much criticism of Signores. That's okay. And that's going to be a kill shot. That's well within parameters. Very hard for Recoil to dodge this. The only thing he could have done to dodge it is to turn left away. At that point, I think he's a bit worn out, and he's turning into them. It gets annoying. Only Recoil does this. He turns into missiles. Maybe it's a really good thing to do. I don't know, but I always advise against it. See how it works out. No, it's worked. Well, okay. If it works, it works. And Signore thought he was going to get those shots, so he never really planned the merge. If he'd planned the merge, he would have gone a little bit further out, tried to get into a lag. So he's put himself in an awkward situation here. And at this point, I'll almost put my money. Aspect favours the Mirage. Speed here favours the Su-27. Su-27 at 450 knots in a turn is pretty much the best turning thing in the world. So let's see how that turn goes. He keeps that turn up. He is keeping it up. And look at the turn rate difference. The flanker is catching. Don't go too slow. Go below 400, you lose your advantage. Mustn't go too slow. And he's putting dive in now, you can see, because he knows he's scrubbing his speed. And that's good. It's got a little bit slow there, lost a little bit of turn rate. Now Mirage did a really good turn there. I didn't see the speed, but that was... I mean, the Mirage is obviously a very good turner as well, and has won the turn war. But who's going to acquire the target first for a kill shot? It's easier to do, I think, in this target, in this thing here. It's got better IR acquisition. Guns, and good acquisition there from Recoil. It's just a little asking a bit much with that much picture authority, with that much, picture authority. Yeah, it did just a bit too much on a merge. Got to get that missile off a little bit beforehand, or a better aspect. Nice turn by Recoil there. He's dived there, so he didn't hit a stall, and it has allowed him to turn around very quickly. I didn't think he could turn that quickly at that low speed. Advantage from the flanker here. I think he's cancelling the fight. He has. He's cancelling the fight. And there's nothing wrong with cancelling the fight. It's a good thing to do, especially if you can get your target into a small turn like that where it's that to scrub his speed down. This flanker is now going to outrun this Mirage. And he's... oh dear, I didn't realise he had any missiles left. Damn. Okay, so be it. That is going to be a kill shot. Yeah, fair enough. He tried the fight exit, but obviously if the target's got missiles still, you're gonna have to get a good 4 mile head start on it. So good kill by Signori in the end. Really good dogfighting by both of them. Nothing to really criticise there. Good missile evasion from Recoil. So that's fair enough. See, Recoil was calling in Finn just didn't make it in time. So it's now Finn on Signore. 5 miles. He can start shooting now. He's well within kill parameters for a close aspect. A hot aspect, and we've got missiles out. Signore had just turned around in time. It was good evasion from Signore. A missile is nullified. However, this Mirage is much faster and is closing at a quick rate of knots. So we're well within kill range now. So let's get more missiles out from Grumpy Finn. Let's pace this guy. Slow him down. Pressure him. It's biding his time. That's okay. Signore is deciding to turn. It's a dangerous thing to do. It allows Finn to catch up a little bit. 1.8 miles. I really want to see missiles coming out from Finn now. Don't leave it too late. I'm assuming he's got another Fox 1 he could fire in there. He could fire Fox 1 to unsettle him, and then a Fox 2 kill shot would be nice. There's a fight there between two F-fires. We'll have to go and have a look at that. And that is I'm guessing a Fox 1. I don't really know. Should be a kill. It might be a Fox 2. I don't know. For some reason it didn't work. Don't know why. It was well within parameters for either missile there. Another Fox 2. Got to kill him. Wow. Nice evasion for Signore. All 600 knots. Good angle. Good G. Good countermeasures. It allowed him to be essentially invulnerable at that point. And Finn hasn't really done anything wrong. I think he had those two Fox 2s. He took his time, took them when they were in kill parameters, and I thought they were. Now he's not sure what he's doing. Okay, so I think he's decided he doesn't want a dogfight, which is a good thing to think. So he's just going to 700 knots the hell out of there, and I don't think Signore is going to be able to catch him up. So we'll leave that alone. What was going on with these F5s? We had a cool F5 fight. Something going on. So Tail is entering the fight. Sees Gunboat. Easy pickings. Does his IFF checks, the 4 things we've talked about earlier, so he doesn't get a friendly fire. That's a nice easy kill on a relatively slow Harrier. It's not that slow actually, it's pretty fast. It's a nice easy kill for that missile. There's no evasion. And merge. F5 merge. More speed. Tail has more speed. Skadrake has more situational awareness and lower speed, and he's going to turn quicker. Good turn. As long as you keep it above 400, you're still safe. A little bit slow, but okay. And he's squarely on the 6 of Tail now. Does he have any missiles left, though? I get the feeling not. He probably would have had a pop already. So Tail, I think, is now trying to work out what's going on. Looking for the target. Probably doesn't see him yet. Turning, trying to get a look. Good thing is he's kept his speed up high, which is good because he may need to make an escape. Skate, pretty good pursuit. Yep. There's no faults there. Oh, it does have a missile. Maybe a kill, I don't know. Good shot. Yep, nice, good, well done. Waited for the right moment. And that's good killing. We've already seen that fight. We're coming to the close now, finally. Oh, I'm exhausted after this. Oh, we've got a classic Signore moment here. Right. So, Grumpy Finn exited the fight. Perfectly valid thing to do. I don't like how he pulled in towards his base there. He should have gone around here. He would have been perfectly safe if he'd done a big radius turn. Remember, if you're running away, big radius turns, much safer. He turned in, allow Signore to get situational awareness relatively quickly, and he's firing all over him. This one got terrain. You can see that dotted line means he's hidden behind a mountain. Now Signore is within limits, but does he have a Fox 1? I don't know. Tough decision to make at this point. And that there is a fast mirage, and I don't like the idea of chasing a fast mirage into base. There's nothing really to be gained by it, and everything to be lost. Signori is giving it a damn good go. The distance is getting longer between them, so he's got to start thinking at this point. If he doesn't have a Fox, if he has a Fox 1, take it now. Don't let him lead me into a base. If I've got Fox 2s, it means I have to close within 2 miles. Can I close within 2 miles? No, I can't, because it's the same plane as me. There's nothing I can do. The maths doesn't work out here. Nothing in the maths works out. It's all, I don't know, childishness. I want the kill, I want the kill, I want the kill. And it can only end badly. And I'm pretty sure it will, because we have a Marvin coming in. Yep, and we've seen this twice from Signori. 2 awful childish moments. Exactly the same thing he did when he's lost his F-15. Chasing a guy in, I want that kill, I want that mark on my scoreboard. Me. And God knows how Marvin fucked this up. Somehow he didn't take any shots, so... yeah. Signori can still get out of this. There's still time to get out of this. Be sensible. You've got 800 knots, you can beat this flanker. Just fly away, don't dogfight. Gonna dogfight, isn't he? He's gonna do it. He's doing it, and he's gonna pay the price. Amazing missile, look at that. R-73, what a missile. Yeah, I mean, good evasion for the Signori there. That's a more sensible missile, Marvin, and that will be a kill. All Marvin's fault. It should have been killed ages ago, but yep. Watch be extremely embarrassed in front of 14,000 people. Don't do it again. No reason to do it. No, nothing to do it. Nothing to be gained. Everything to be lost. Right. Anything else? I'm pretty sure that's the end, and I would hope it is the end. One thing we missed there is Trash did get through and is Vigan at some point. I never spotted it and did bomb the runway, which did help the Blues' cause as well. Unfortunately, probably a little too late to really have any decent effect, but there you go. Now we've got more fighting. God, so many kills during this. This is Marvin coming in to kill an F5, and he probably will get the kill here. That F5 is not being evasive. He should be. Should be getting a whopping great warning. And we're on half speed, I just realised. So that's Breen being a bit silly. I don't know why. Okay. Yep, did get the kill. Tail against superiority fighter. No match, obviously. Is Zoidberg going to come in and take him out? Nothing Tail can do, really. Tried his best evasive, but no, that's fine. And apparently there's a couple more kills on the kill feed. There was a Vigan being killed by Zoidberg there. Obviously no match. And Static. Didn't see the Static kill. I think Coffee came in to claim his 6th kill. Just a straight up headshot, I imagine. Static gave it a good try, but obviously didn't stand a chance. And that's the end. Whoa, what a whopper. So, good tactical play from Reds. They obviously won the match. You can see all their ground units. I didn't look at the ground units because obviously they weren't fighting, so there was nothing to look at. Pretty good fighting from the Red Air Force as well. Not perfect. We did have some blue air superiority for a while. Good. A tiny bit of blue tactics taking out the AWACS. It did help them a lot. I think it allowed them to get air superior at one point. Other than that, bad tactical flying from the Blues most of the time, not all of the time. Childishness from Signore we saw there. A little bit of childishness from Atomic, which saw him die, but he did get to grips later on. He turned sensible later on. Udarosa, tiny bit of childishness at the beginning, then became sensible after that and became effective. Tail was excellent throughout. He ran out of luck at the end, obviously. He just started running into top fighters at the end there. And that's about it, really. It's a good summary. So we'll do another one next Sunday, and hopefully we'll see some improvements. Many thanks, and see you later.